think I have a problem. Well, I guess first off, hi. It feels like I've been a long time since I've made a video, so hi. What's new with you? What's going on? I have red hair now, so that's about all that's new with me. And this is my absolutely disastrous idea of a TBR. So, I have a small confession to make, and that is, I don't think, aside from listening to audiobooks, I don't think I have finished, I don't think I have physically read and finished a book since December of 2019. But, as I said in my book haul, I keep buying books and then not reading them. So I've had this idea for a while to kind of make a TBR of all the books that I've wanted to read for a while, and I would read a book a week. So that's starting today because at the time I'm filming this, it is on a Monday. So I thought it would be fun to I thought it would be a good idea to kind of let you know what books I would be reading. That way, if you would like for me to do a review on any of them, or if you're interested in my ideas or thoughts after I read these books, you kind of know what to expect / what ones you can ask for. So, let's just start at the top here. Let me get that out of the way. So the first one is this absolutely gigantic looking copy of Harleen by Stjepan Sajic. I'm very sorry. I know I horribly butchered that. I don't English well, obviously. So, one thing I want to say, I really like this cover because you take the flap off. You've got this, and then you take the flap off, and it's this. But I was really interested in reading this because I've always really been interested in the character of the Joker. And I guess by default Harley, just because they are usually very heavily linked. And this one seems to take a bit more of a psychological aspect to her. And I think I even read like one of the summaries that says that in this story, the reason she works with the criminally insane is so she can better understand her own mental instability. This is what I'm going to be starting tonight. Obviously, I should be able to finish this sooner than a week, because, you know, it's mostly pictures. But this is what's up. This is what's up first, and I'm very excited. Next is one I have already read, but it's up here because it's part of all of these right here that my hand are touching are kind of connected. And that is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. I do have this on audiobook. I've already read it, so I probably won't physically reread this just because I've listened to the audiobook so many times that I do kind of am very aware of what the story is. But this is about a brother and a sister who live in a small town where they live next to a forest that is inhabited by fairies. And a lot of I don't know how to describe this book other than a lot of weird stuff starts happening that seems to directly involve the brother and the sister. I do really like this book. I would recommend it. I have recently, weirdly, kind of figured out that I'm a very big fan of Holly Black because she is very good about finding that mix between whimsical and creepy. So yeah. The next one is, hang on. The Folk of the Air series by Holly Black, which consists of The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, The Queen of Nothing, and most recently, How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories, which is a short story collection and I believe is kind of a prequel to this trilogy. This series was very popular a couple years ago, but if by chance you don't know what it's about this human girl named Jude, who whenever she was young was kidnapped and whisked away into the fairy realm, I don't know. And so now, a few years later, she's basically she gets really mixed up in all the political drama and upheaval that's going on with the fairy court, and she herself is very much a Slytherin. She's very ambitious. She very much wants power and prestige and wants to be able to stand on her own feet, and she has the ambition and drive to go after that. I very much like reading a story with a Slytherin main character because I'm not a Slytherin personally, but I do have a bit of Slytherin envy, I guess, and so anytime I can read a story with like a good Slytherin, I'm really excited about because they deserve some love. They get too much hate. And I will forever be upset that BBC's Merlin made Morgana evil because she was such a Slytherin even before she turned evil, but she was a good Slytherin in like seasons 1 and 2. And I just loved that we had like a good Slytherin character, but then she went evil and it just meh. Anyway, next is the Modern Fairy Tales collection by Holly Black, and this consists of Tithe, Valiant, and Ironside. I will admit I don't really know much about what these books are about, except that they are tied, they are linked to The Darkest Part of the Forest and the Folk of the Air series. Like, all of these stories take place within the same universe, so there's probably going to be a lot of cameos and crossovers, and that's cool. Next is the Once Upon a Con series by Ashley Poston. So that consists of Geekerella, which I have already read and really love. It's a modern retelling of Cinderella, but with a main character who is very much into fandom, and it's amazing. The Princess and the Fangirl, which is like a Princess and the Pauper retelling, consisting of a movie star and a girl who is a big fan of her swapping places, and Bookish and the Beast, which is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. And I don't know much about this one, but I really like the original story of Beauty and the Beast, so I'm sure I'll like this one. Like I said before, I have already read Geekerella, and I did really like it. I liked the story, I liked the characters, I just liked the world and environment that Ashley Poston created in that story, so I'm very excited to see how she has expanded upon that with these next two books. Next is Bone Shaker by Sherry Priest. Basically, I googled steampunk book, and this was the first thing to pop up. So this is steampunk zombies during the Civil War. I'm freaking here for it. Next is Serious Moonlight by Jen Bennett. I will admit this was an impulse buy at Target. I don't know that much about it, except I believe there's like kind of a mystery element, like a detection mystery element in here, which I'm always down for. And I really like the cover because while I think I've said this before, but I'm not the biggest fan of the contemporary genre. I do really like how their books tend to have these nice pastel colorful covers, because not a lot of other books do that. A lot of other books tend to stick with like whites and blacks and dull colors. Next is Loveless by Alice Oseman. I bought this because I was really interested in reading a book with ace aro representation, asexual aromantic representation, and I've heard really good things about Alice Oseman as a writer, so I'm excited to read this. Next is How to Fail at Flirting by Denise Williams, and I will admit this was an impulse buy because of Paper Fact Dreams, like a lot of other books I've probably shown you have been. I don't know that much about this one, except the main girl is trying to, like, I think revamp her life, but I don't know that much about it, but Kat said it was good, and I trust her judgment. The next two books are both by Cinda Williams-Chima, and they're the Demon King and the Warrior Heir. These are the first two books in, I believe, these are the first two books in their respective series. The Warrior Heir is about this normal guy who finds out he's kind of a part of this underground society. I've heard it compared to Teen Wolf in that way, and I really like Teen Wolf, so anything that kind of gives that supernatural has to balance with normal teen life vibes, I'm here for. And then the Demon King, I think, takes place in more of a fantasy world, and the main character is like, I'm getting the vibes that he's definitely like an anti-hero, and he goes on an adventure, I think. I don't know that much about it. Next is City of Villains by Estelle Laurie. This was another impulse buy from Target, but it seemed really interesting because it seemed to combine Disney villains with like crime mystery, which was not a combination, which was not something I knew I needed until I saw this book. The last 4 books are all part of the Twisted Tale series. So we've got Reflection by Elizabeth Lim. This is the Mulan retelling, and the tagline is, "What if Mulan had to travel to the underworld?" There's As Old as Time by Liz Braswell, and it's What If Belle's Mother Cursed the Beast. There's Unbirthday. This is probably the one I'm most excited to read because I love Alice in Wonderland by Liz Braswell, and it's What If Wonderland was in peril and Alice was very, very late. And then the last one, Straight On Till Morning by Liz Braswell. Woo! What if Wendy first traveled to Neverland with Captain Hook? Yeah, so that is my TBR. Those are all the books that I plan on reading in the foreseeable future. If you're interested in me doing a review on any of these, or if you have a book you would like me to do a review on, please leave it in the comments, let me know. I'm always down for suggestions. I just wanted to make kind of a quick video letting you know maybe what to expect, or kind of give you some options on the videos in the future. So I hope you'll have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all hopefully sooner than my last video, because it's been like, what, a few months? I'm so sorry. Alright, bye guys.